Dear students, greeting of the day. In video machine learning part 2, we have seen widely used machine learning tools and two steps of data pre-processing using Python language, namely import libraries and import data sets. Today, the topic of discussion is how will we prepare the data sets before to feed into our model. Prepare the data. Before to start, prepare the data. First, we must know what is the data. What are the attributes of the data? How will we see the instances of the data? How will we look the contents of the specific attributes or columns of our data set? Okay. Next, after looking these, we will try to remove duplicates, correct errors if they exist in our data set, outliers, deal with missing values in our data, data type conversion, anomaly detection, normalization, handling categorical variables, multi-collinearity, randomized data, visualized data, dimensionality reduction with the help of two techniques, principal component analysis, and second is the singular value decomposition. And after that, splitting the data set, training, validation, and in the test sets. These are the steps to prepare our data set. It is not necessary you have to apply all these steps in your data set. Depending on the contents of the data set, we will prepare the data before feeding it into our model. Okay. So let us see how will we prepare our data set. Okay. Firstly, we will know about our data set with the help of the Python programming language. So let us start. How will we know our data set with the help of the programming language? Okay. As I have told you, the tool that I will use to develop the machine learning application is the please wait, it will take the time. The tool I will use the Jupyter Notebook. In the previous lecture, I have told you there are several ways you can run your Jupyter Notebook through the Anaconda Navigator, or directly you can run your Jupyter Notebook, or with the help of the Anaconda prompt. Okay, there are several ways you can run your Jupyter Notebook. To launch your notebook, and click at this place. Select the directory which is on the desktop, my ML experiment, the name of the directory where we have written the program, my ML experiment. Click at this place. Please wait. My ML experiment notebook is opened. Now let us start. Now, first thing I want to tell you, the source of the fruit data is, this is the source of the fruit data. You can download from the site www.castle.com mj. This is the address. You can type and enter in the browser. You can download the data set. Okay. If you are unable to download the data set, I will provide you the data set on your request. Okay. So let us start. This is the, we want to know our data set, and here the data set is the fruit data set. Okay. So know data set. Know your data set by looking contents of the data set. Is it clear? Suppose we are interested to see the contents of our data set. Fruits that okay. Okay. What is the fruits? Fruits is the our data frame, and head is the, this is the a method available in the data frame. Is it clear? Now run this command. Let us see what will happen. Here you can see an error will appear on your screen. Fruits is not defined. But here you can see we have loaded the fruits. Okay. What will happen at this place? What happened? Okay. Because we have these command import, we have imported import pandas as PD. Here you can see we have read the data set, but these are not executed. To execute these commands, go to the one by one you can execute this command, or if you want to execute all the commands, go to the this place cell and click this run all. Please wait, what will happen? Here you can see on your screen, this method, head method, display the 5 records of your data set. Is it clear? Now, suppose you want to see first 3 record, first 5 record, first 10 records. The corresponding command, a Python statement is fruits dot head. Now here you paste without any parameter. When you use the method head without any parameter, it only display 5 records. When you specify the parameter, what will happen? Let us see. Run this statement. Here you can see it displays the 3 records of your data set. Okay. And suppose you want to see all the records of your data set, simply type data frame name, data frame fruits is the data frame, that this head method. Run this. Here you can see it display all the records of your data sets. You know there are 60 records of your data set. Okay. Suppose you want to see only the last 5 records. How will do it? Simply write the name of your data frame, fruits dot, here the method is the tail. Let us see what it will do. Run this command. Here you can see this method displays the last 5 records. Here you can see 59, 58, 57, 56 and 50. Suppose you want to see last 10 records, simply tell, run this. Sorry, here is a mistake. Now again run it. It will display. Sorry, here you have to specify the parameter 10. Suppose you want to look the 10 last 10 records. Now run it. Here you can see you have the 10 records are displayed on the screen. Okay, what will be happen when you suppose the without any parameter, run it, it will display all the records similar to your head mat head. Okay, suppose suppose you want to look the records from 5 to 8. Let us see. Print fruits. Here you specify 5 to 10 and exit and run it. Here you can see it is start from displaying the 5th records of your data set, 5th, 6th, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records are displayed from 5 to the 9. Okay, next is the suppose you are interested to know the name of the columns or variable names or attribute of the your data set. How will look it? Simply type print and here we are interested to know the attributes of our data set, or you can say name of the columns of our data set. The corresponding method is columns. Run it. You can say these are the column name of our data set: fruit label, fruit name, fruit subtype, mass, width, height and color score. Okay, suppose we are interested to know the type of the entries written in these columns, under these columns. For this, name of the data frames, and he would type the command methods types. Run it. Here you can see the fruit label is integer type, fruit name is the object, fruit subtype is the object, mass is the integer, width, height and color score, these are the float type variable. Okay, suppose you are interested to know the type of attributes in a specific column. Okay, print fruit Here we are interested to know different types of entities in a specific column or variable. Well, different types of entities in a specific columns are in the variables. Different types of values in a specific column are variables. So here you have to specify the name of the column, yeah, name of the variable, dot, and followed by the method is a unique. Suppose we want to know the different types of entities, different types of values in a specific column. Okay, run it. Here you can see this fruit name variable has these values: apple, mandarin, orange, and lemon. Okay. Suppose we are interested to know the contents of all values of a specific column. Here, specify your data frame and simply name of the column, here we are interested to know all values of a specific column. So these are the values of the column fruit name. Suppose we are interested to know the values of all columns. For this, you simply write variable name by this value. Let us see what will happen. Here you can see on your screen, it will display the contents of your entire data set. Okay. Next, suppose you want to sort your data set on a specific column. Let us see how will you do it. Here we are interested to arrange our data set on a specific column. Suppose here we are interested to arrange our data set in ascending order on the variable fruit level. Okay, here you can see the data set is arranged on the fruit level in the increasing order, non-decreasing order, increasing order or non-decreasing order. Okay, now suppose you want to arrange your data set on decreasing order. Values here we have specified the column name, fruit label. Let us compare this command with this statement with the previous statement. In the increasing order, the method is sort values by the keyword by equal, and here you specify the name of the variables, and here in the ascending order you have specified true. And if you want to arrange the record in the decreasing order on a specific column, you have to specify, instead of the true you write the false. There is some error here. What is the error? Positional argument follows keyword argument. Fruits dot sort values by fruit label, okay, comma, sending equal false, okay. Let us simply modify the previous record. Here, in the place of this, write the place of true, write the false. Let us see what will happen. Run it. Here you can see the records are arranged in the decreasing order on the variable fruit label. Is it clear? Okay. We are going to delete these cells. Okay. Next. Suppose we want to arrange the records on more than one variables. Okay. For this, print your data frame names, fruits dot sort values by fruit. Suppose we want on the fruit name, fruit variable, fruit name variable, and fruit subtype, fruit subtype. Okay. Sending. Well, now run it. Here we have arranged the records on fruit name and second variable on the fruit subtype. Here you can see. Okay. Is it clear? Now suppose you want to first column decreasing order and second column is the first column is increasing order, second is a decreasing order. Specify here in the place of true, write the false. Run it. Oh, sorry, here is a mistake. Mistake is at this place. The word is a false. Let us see. Here you can see. First, on the first fruit name, increasing order. On the fruit subtype, it is the decreasing order. Okay. So this way you can arrange your records on one column or more than one variables, descending order or ascending order. Okay. Next is, suppose you want to filter data set based on the value condition for one column. Okay. Here we are interested to filter our data set on the basis of the values on a specific column. Name of the data frame. Suppose we are interested only to look the contents of our data set for fruit level is greater than 2. Let us see on the screen. Means where on the screen you can see all the records having the fruit level greater than 2, means 3 or 4, 3 and 4. Okay. Suppose you want to greater than 3, run it. On the screen you can see it. All the records of your data set having the fruit level greater than 3. You can also make the filter on more than one columns, more than one variables. Fruit level, suppose here I am modifying this, fruit level less than 3, less than 3 and food mass less than 160 here you have to modify this. Okay, let us see. Invalid sentence, some error at this place. Fruits this fruit label your mistake is at this. Okay, instead of this is a syntax error here at this place. I think it is now it is okay. Food is not defined here. You can see here write the fruits. Done it. Here. Let us see. Here you have filtered your data set on more than one variable. First is the fruit label variable and second is the mass. It displays all the records having the fruit label less than 3 and mass weight of the fruit is less than 160 gram. You can see it here. Okay. Instead of this operator, you can also use this is the AND operation. You can use the OR operation. This, done it. You can see here. Okay. Fruit level less than 3 or mass is less than 160. Anyone is true. Okay, next. Now, we know our record, know your data set by use of statistics. We know our data set with the help of the now statistics. Okay. Fruits run this command. Let us see what will happen. This describe method gives you information about count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25%, 50%, 75% and max. Okay. 25% is the, what is the meaning of the 25%? This is the 25th. It gives the 25th percentile of your data. Here you can. For mass 138, for bit it is 6.45. Height is this, color is this. Here you can say 50% means median value. Yeah, you can say the fifth percentile, 75% means 75 percentile. Okay. These three rows are also known as a first quartile. This is the second quartile and this is the third quartile. Okay. You know what is the meaning of the percentile. Here you can see 25th percentile of mass is 138. What it means? This 138 mass weight divide the entire set into two subset. One subset contains less than values and other subset contains the greater than values of this 138. The less than subset and the greater than subset. Okay, means 25% of your data set having mass values less than this 138 and 75% of your data set having mass greater than 138. This is the meaning of the 25th percentile. Is it clear? Means this 138 classify divides your data set into two parts. First part contains 25% of your data set containing weight less than this 138, and the other set contains the 75% of your data set having values greater than 138. Okay, these three is 25%, 50%, and these 75% are known as a first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and this 50% is also known as the median of your data set. Means here you can see median of 158 means 50% data set have the value less than 158 and the 50% of your data set having the greater than this 158 values. Let us see this 75% means the third quartile. Yeah, 75% means 75. Fifth percentile means 25% of your data set having 25% of your data set having values greater than this value and 75% of your data set having values less than this 176. So these describe commands gives you a summary about what is the mean of your variables, what is the standard deviation of your variables, what is the minimum value of a variable. Okay, and this gives the maximum of your values of a variable, and these are the percentile of your data set. 25th percentile, 5th percentile, and this is the 75th percentile. Is it clear? Now, next is the next command is the fruits run it. Command is, this is the covariance command, COV Now, what this command gives, this method gives the covariance. Covariance indicates how two variables of your data sets are related to each other. Okay, here you can see mass is related with the height. The value is 44.56. Some values have the values positive and some are the negative values. Okay, so this method gives the covariance, and covariance indicates how two variables are related. A positive covariance value indicate the positively related, and the negative values indicates the how the variables are inversely related. So positive means the variables are positively related, and negative means the variables are inversely related. Is it clear? But the drawback of this covariance is it does not give the strength of association between the variables. This is the one of the drawback of the covariance. Okay. Once again, I am repeating this. Positive value means two variables are positively related, and negative means the variables are inversely related. For example, let us take these values. Mass with the height 44.56. Okay, means mass and height are related positively with 44.56. Okay, means if mass is increasing, height is also increasing. If mass value of mass is decreasing, the height is also decreasing. And mass, and here you can the color score. If value of mass is increasing, then the value of the color score is decreasing. One is increasing and other is decreasing because they are inversely related. Is it clear? But this value does not give the strength of the relationship. Okay. Now, next is okay. Run it. This is the correlation between variables. This command gives the correlation between variables. In addition to this covariance, correlation also gives the strength of, or you can say, the binding between two variables, strength of binding between two variables. Okay, the degree of correlation between variables, or you can say the strength between the two variables. Okay, here you can see mass and height again. As you know, the positive means the variables are positively related, and negative means the variables are inversely related. Okay. Okay. So mass is related with the height with the 60%. 0.60 means the 60%. What it means? A change in mass. A change in mass results in a positive 60% change in height. Okay, change in mass means 60% change in the height of the fruit. Is it clear? So here these values are the strength between the variables. Okay, yeah, degree of association between variables. Is it clear? With the help of these three statistics, you can know your data more. Okay, how the variables are related to each other. What is the minimum of value of a variable or maximum value of the variables? Okay, what is the percentile of a variable? 25th percentile, 50th percentile, and 75th percentile. Okay, so this gives you an idea about the contents of your data set. So we know here, we know our data set by the use of the, you can say, by looking the data set. We know our data set by looking the contents or values of our data set, and next is the by with the help of the statistics how the variables are correlated to each other. Okay, now I am going to quit from this Jupyter notebook. For this you have to log out. Now come to our presentation. So today we have seen how will we know our data set. How will we know our data set? With the help of the Python programming language. Okay. These are the references. Any questions? You can ask your questions. Thank you very much.